They planned for the backpacks with bombs to go off at the exact moment when people in California would raise their glasses to the chime of the clock right at New Year's. The FBI has just foiled a series of New Year's terrorist attacks in Southern California. Members of the radical pro-Palestinian group Liberation have been arrested. Turtle Islands. What does a turtle have to do with it? Some Native American tribes called America the Turtle Island long before Europeans arrived. They said, "Our island," well, we call it a continent, not an island, reminds them of a turtle. But to see that, you would have to fly into space or come from space. Did the Indians go to space themselves, or were they told about it? In this video, who are the liberators of Turtle Island? Why did they use the Indian name? Who did they want to blow up? And most importantly, why? And the question that everyone is wondering, how did the Indians find out that the continent of America looks like a turtle when you look at the planet from space?
Separately, in California, federal authorities announced that they had prevented a terrorist attack that was planned in several locations in Southern California on New Year's Eve. This investigation was launched in part due to the executive order from September 2025 signed by President Trump to eradicate left-wing radical domestic terrorist organizations.
A group of young people decided to take the lives of dozens of Americans so that we would hear their ideas about what is right and what is not, since there is a lot of injustice in the world. For which one exactly? This group of four, well, so far we only know about 4 participants, planned to make dozens of children orphans and the lives of many people and leave many others disabled. The liberators of Turtle Island are, of course, extremely left-wing. Who else could be so indifferent to the lives of others? Completely brainwashed graduates of American schools and universities, all of them are pro-Palestinian, anti-capitalist, and anti-American, are calling to liberate Turtle Island by blowing up as many of its inhabitants as possible. They also demand on their website to liberate Hawaii and to liberate Puerto Rico, subtitles untouched by reason. The members of the group aim to carry out a massive and, as they wrote, terrifying terrorist attack on New Year's Eve in Los Angeles in the nearby Orange County. The young terrorists dreamed of mass killings and were preparing simultaneous explosions at several locations on New Year's Eve. To maximize the effect, as they said, the media resonance, and to demonstrate strikes against American, of course, imperialism. After the main series of explosions, the group discussed attacks on agents and vehicles of the Immigration Service. And after that, they didn't know because they don't know how to think any further. Caption: planning mass murders. Nice, simple, educated guys got together and dreamed not about heroic professions, not about scientific discoveries, not about traveling, but about destroying their neighbors. And the bigger and bloodier, the better, of course. Not Syrians, not Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, not Russian snipers, not fighters from the Tamil Front in India, but our own neighbors who simply have different political views. That's all. They just have different political views. One of them is Audrey Carroll. Apparently, you could say kind of like that. The leader of this group made a detailed plan on how to organize all these explosions and bombs, and gave this plan to a person she considered a like-minded individual. That like-minded individual went straight to the FBI. The plan described the types of explosive devices, the synchronization with the chimes, and instructions on how to cover up the traces. Editor. She made a plan that included homemade explosive devices with step-by-step assembly instructions. 4 of the accused went out to the Mojave Desert and started assembling the bomb, well, naturally for testing. They were filmed by drones and planes and were arrested before they managed to create a working device. The 4 planned to plant backpacks with homemade bombs in logistics centers in Southern California, well, apparently including 2 Amazon centers. This story isn't so much about how the FBI foiled New Year's Eve bombings in Southern California at the last minute, but more about how a homegrown group, I don't even know what to call them, radicals, idiots, radicals armed with the internet, so they could actually watch how to make bombs, what to make them from, how to assemble them, and with big ideas without capitalism, like these kinds of people can kill people living next to them, being sure that they are heroes and doing something very important for progress. After all, they are progressives. Everything got mixed up in their heads. Anti-imperialism. Palestine, Native American mythology, Indian mythology. Yes, Native Americans. No, Native Americans. Native American mythology. The return of Native Americans to their continent. Shackles. Corporations that ruthlessly exploit simple, kind, good, but naive people. People who are more naive than they are. You can't simply grab them with your bare hands, as they say. Right in the comments. What do you see? What do you think? This is just another example of how radical ideologies and access to knowledge make people dangerous. Or is it a reminder that when we don't raise our children, someone else will, and that someone could be a drug dealer? Let's raise his commas. I think we'll soon find out that these misfit people were led, raised, and slowly brought to the idea of killing fellow Americans. No. To restore some kind of abstract justice. So, what do you think about this?